Welcome to Sense and Nonsense A to Z, where we pick topics based off of the letter of the day. Today is episode 20 of season 1, featuring the letter T.
We're family and we're your hosts, AT and Z. So let's get started. This week's T hello is terve.
Terve?
Yep. Finnish.
Oh.
And it's more of an informal hello. It's like a hey, hello kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, terve. So, well, my Rangers are done. They lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning. It went to 6 games, though. They had taken the first 2 games, but it was obvious they were tired. In the previous series, they came back in 7 games against the Penguins, then came back in 7 games against the Hurricane.
Too many games.
Too many games. And they only had 1 day off in between.
Mm-hmm.
It was obvious they were hurting.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the New York Rangers for getting that deep into the playoffs. Experts weren't expecting them to reach the playoffs at all.
Aha. So they exceeded expectations for the season.
Did.
Nice.
Yep. So how was little guy's birthday?
It was awesome.
Aww. I can't believe he's 12.
I know. I know.
Can't believe it.
I can't either. He's nearly as tall as I am. He's like up to my forehead.
Yeah. He's gonna be a tall kid.
I think so. We went to the pool and he
His
just played.
place.
It is really,
Yeah.
besides the ocean. And he just played hard for like 3 hours straight. And
Clunked out.
he was yawning. I had to keep him from falling asleep a couple of times. And then he slept till like 8:30 the next morning, which is like a miracle.
Wow.
Yeah. So, he played hard.
Yeah.
So I think he had a good day. Then we went to breakfast the next day, which he loves. And he ate pancakes in the restaurant. Which was really good. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So he's doing real well. Yeah. It was fun.
Excellent. Anything else going on, Z?
School's going to end in a couple of weeks. So doing all the transition stuff for that for next year. And he's got a graduation and everything coming up.
Cool.
Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah. How about you?
I have a little thing about Tesla.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Tesla has had 7 recalls so far this year. 7.
Wow.
Most of them, I know. I know.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Most of them involve software glitches, like the wrong sound comes through the speaker system. And with the brakes, they're doing a rolling stop rather than coming to a full stop.
Oh.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA, has opened an investigation back in February over the potential phantom braking problems with Tesla's Models 3 and Model Y. But now that they've had over 1,000 complaints, the investigation has been upgraded this month to an engineering analysis of the automated braking system, and it's expanded to other models of Tesla.
My friend who I bowl with and I have had this conversation. Like, we want to drive our vehicle. Yes. I don't want my vehicle to drive for me. I don't want it making decisions for me. Yeah. And one of the problems you have buying a new model vehicle is that they have all these safety features bells that you can't override.
Yeah, I know.
What happens when there is a glitch with it and you can't freaking make the car stop?
I know.
That's a big deal. That's a huge problem.
Exactly. So it seems that when the driver assistance mode is on, Teslas have hit parked emergency response vehicles.
Great.
Apparently, the vehicles receive collision alerts right before the impact. The automatic emergency braking slows down the car in most cases, but on average, the autopilot gave up control of the vehicle less than a second before the crash.
Oh,
so the agency
that's a big deal.
I know it is. So the agency wants detailed information from Tesla, who has until June 20th to respond or face fines.
Ooh, they better get on that because honestly, that's not good.
No.
Braking? No.
You need
the brakes to be working.
Yeah.
Jeez. Just give me control of the vehicle. I understand that a lot of the population does not want control of their vehicle. They wanted to do it for them.
Not me.
Because they are otherwise occupied inside the vehicle, but I want control of mine.
I do too. Yep. I don't even want it to park itself.
No,
I'm not up for that either.
No, I don't want it to lane correct for me.
No,
I don't want it to slow down when I'm
No.
approaching a vehicle.
Nope.
I don't want it to park. I don't want it to do anything.
Exactly. Do what I tell you to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. When I press on the gas, I want to go. When I press
This
on the
is the
brakes, I want to
danger,
stop.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah. This is the danger of just letting the machines take over.
Ooh, there's movies about that.
I know.
10 questions T edition. Are you ready to go?
I am.
Are you up for it?
I am.
Okay, good. All righty. First question. If you were able to time travel just once, what year would you land on?
1987.
Oh, I can't figure out why.
It was a decent period for us.
Times were good.
Times were pretty good.
Got it. Okay.
People were generally respectful of each other. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
it was generally a decent time.
Mhm.
Plus, I was real young in the 80s. So
Mhm.
going back as an adult to experience it,
Mhm.
I think would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. Sure.
Yeah. What about you?
If I had my choice for a one-shot thing,
Yeah.
it would be 2002.
Really?
So I can spend some more time with my dad before he passed.
Well, if you come back to the 80s with me, they were alive and young then.
Well, yeah. But I mean, it's something special before somebody passes, though.
Yeah.
To spend some time with them, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Not to get too melancholy. Okay. The next question: when this podcast is a success, whose talk show would you want to go on?
Anybody will have me, really. I think.
Just call me.
Yeah, I'll go chat with you. I would really like to go on Graham Norton though.
Oh, yeah.
Oddly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because of the way the setup is, and
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
And
That
I could
makes
probably
sense.
curse on that show too. So
You can curse on any show. They'll just bleep
they'll just
you,
bleep me. I
Yeah.
know. I know. So
Right.
really anybody will have me. I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
go and chat.
I agree
them.
with that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind meeting Colbert.
No, I wouldn't either. No,
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
wouldn't mind that at all.
No.
Okay, next question. Three's Company or the Three Stooges?
Three's Company.
You know,
about
it's the
you?
Three Stooges. For
I
me.
know. I know.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite childhood toy?
Cabbage Patch.
Really?
Well, that was the one I coveted the most, my
Mhm.
Cabbage Patch.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of some of the toys I had, of which, we didn't have many.
No,
I
I
had
didn't either.
I had a Thumbelina doll back in the early 60s. And I loved
Mhm.
that thing when I
Mhm.
was I was tiny. I had this, it was called a Jingle Jump.
Mm-hmm.
I love that toy. Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
Okay. You put it on the heel of one foot, and there was like a strap. It was very colorful. There was a strap. You strapped it like to your sneaker, and it had a little box with a little jingle bell in it, long string, and a ball. And what you would do is you kick the ball in a circle and you jump with your other foot.
Yeah, I know what that is.
I love that thing. I used to play. Yeah, I was real young too, so.
Yeah.
But it's funny how you just remember some of these toys.
The other one that I loved was my Speak and Spell.
Oh,
I love that thing. I felt so grown up. I could type and stuff.
Yeah,
And it would
yeah.
talk to me. And I was just like, this thing is awesome. Yeah,
Right,
I loved
right.
it.
Do you remember, we used to call them Click-Clacks. It was a brand. They then called them Clackers. Do you remember that, with the two balls
Yeah.
with the rope,
Yeah.
or whatever wire in between?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were dangerous, but
Yeah.
my brother liked them a lot.
Mm,
Not your dad, the other brother. Okay.
okay.
All right. Next question. Have you ever had a turducken?
No, I haven't, but I have friends who have had a turducken.
And
They liked it.
yeah, you know where I got this from?
Where?
I was shopping for cat food. And one of the flavors were turducken. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for cat food. I'm like, I'm going to ask thee this question.
Yeah.
Okay. Who was your favorite character on Taxi? Oh, a good one, right?
Oh.
And I got to tell you something. This is one of those shows that everybody knew not only their first name, but their last name too on the show.
Picking one is really difficult.
I have one. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Jim Ignatowski. How How can you not love Christopher Lloyd?
He was
Kadok. They were all good. Louis De Palma was good.
I was just gonna say Danny DeVito,
Yeah, he was really
Louis De
good.
Palma. I think I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah,
I loved him. He was
it was so
funny
Oh yeah, he was. They were all
in that
funny.
cage.
They were all good.
Oh my God. And when he
I
would
know.
come out of the cage,
Yeah.
oh, forget when he came out of the cage, you knew it was gonna be good.
It was
You
gonna
know
be
what I
trouble.
mean? Yeah.
I know.
So I would say Louis De Palma.
Yeah, that's a
But
good
they
one,
were all
too.
good. They were all
excellent.
good.
I know it. Lotka was good.
Oh
Alex,
my God.
everybody was really, really good. Love that show. Ibita. Okay. Do you use Tabasco sauce?
No.
You don't?
No.
No, huh?
No.
I do. I put it in my burgers. It's it's a mix.
Salsa on that.
You put salsa in it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I put a little Creole, a little Tabasco.
That's
to mix
good.
up my burgers. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Would you rather play a trumpet, trombone, or tuba? We got a bunch of T's.
Trombone.
Really?
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. What about you?
Trumpet.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. It's kind
I
of
like the
something I always wanted to
register
do.
of the trombone.
Oh, I do too. I
Mhm.
really do too. Yeah. But I wouldn't mind trying to play the trumpet, but definitely not the tuba.
No,
No,
I don't want
I-
to wrangle that thing.
No, the thing's too big and too heavy.
No. I think you freaking blow a coronary trying to blow into that thing.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Not when you were a kid, maybe
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. And I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it.
Okay.
Tony blank.
Well, we were just talking about taxis, so I got to go Tony Danza.
Oh, that's not the one I thought you were going to pick.
If I'm not talking about Tony Danza, then it's Tony Stark.
That's the one I figured.
But I was just thinking about Tony Danza.
Yeah. I should have asked this question before I asked the taxi question.
But if I'm not thinking about taxi, which most of the time I'm not, it's
exactly
Tony Stark.
Of course.
Yeah. What about you?
Your favorite?
Yeah.
Oddly enough, it's the weirdest thing because when I first thought about this question, one just came into my head and I'm like, I'll just write it down. It was Bennett. It was Tony Bennett.
Really?
I don't know why. Of all the Tonys I could come up with, it was Bennett that came to my brain.
Wow.
Yeah. This is going to be a little
There are
weird
not too
one.
many people named Tony anymore.
Do
you notice that? Like I haven't seen any younger people coming up with the name Tony.
A lot of people are sticking with the Anthonys.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This next question's a little odd, but what was the first typewriter you ever used? What kind?
Oh my God, this blows my mind because I was just watching something on typewriters.
Were you?
Yeah, I don't know what kind was the first kind I used.
I know the first kind I used.
I don't remember.
Mine was a total manual. You got to the end of the sentence, right? Or the end of the line, actually. And right before it had the bell.
The ding. And you push the thing.
And then you push the thing. Exactly. I started on one of those.
Yeah, I think I started on one of those, but I had one that was electric that I used to use a lot.
Yeah.
And it had the automatic return when you hit enter. It would do the thing for you.
Right.
But I have used the one where you have to shove it over.
And a shove it over. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
I know.
How it all started.
I know. I was thinking about getting one again. See if I can
really?
get one. Yeah, because there's something aesthetically pleasing about typing on a typewriter.
Yeah.
It's
totally
I mean,
different.
it would wear your fingers out.
Yeah.
But there's something cool about that.
The first typewriters were all capital. And then they figured out how to do the shift to go up and down with the capital letter and the small letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing that annoyed me the most was the ribbon.
The ribbon was a pain in the neck.
It was a pain.
Yeah. Yeah. When you were done.
Yeah.
I know.
Gosh, I feel old.
Ain't it? I've got a bonus one for you too.
Okay.
How about a telephone? What's the first telephone you used?
Oh, well, it was.
Was it a dial?
I think it might have been a rotary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That was mine. You want to talk about
Um,
feeling old?
But you know
Definitely.
what? No, I think the first one was a push button because I'm thinking back to everybody had my grandparents had the one with the both grandparents had the
Right. Right.
dial. But
Yeah.
I think in our house we had in
The
the
push button.
kitchen the push button ones.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
It could have been either really
Yeah.
because both were in heavy use back in the day,
Yeah.
but all
For
of them
sure.
had the really, really long
Long
cord
cord.
that got,
Yeah.
twisted up. It was all curly and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. Somebody nowadays, young
Mm-hmm.
kid,
Mm-hmm.
like 10 or something, looked
Mm-hmm.
at a telephone, they would go, "What the hell is that
What
thing?"
is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
When they see it in movies and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like,
So
wow.
anyway, yeah. So that was it.
Those are good questions.
Okay. I try. I
All
really
right. No,
try.
they're good.
Yeah.
My favorite T movie
Mhm.
is Top Gun,
Okay.
1986.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. So this
Great
movie's
movie. I love
great
it too.
movie.
I
It
love it
was
too. Yeah.
iconic in
It
the
was.
80s.
Yep.
It was such a big deal.
Yeah.
So it starts and it gives you kind of the history of Top Gun during Vietnam. The fighter pilots were not doing a great job. So they created this program for Navy aviators and they called it the Fighter Weapons School and the flyers called it Top Gun. So we got that and it's all like dong dong and it like makes you have chills before you even see anything.
Yeah.
And then like Highway to the Danger Zone
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah.
And
Every time I hear that song,
oh
that's
my
the
God.
movie I think of. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And then it shows you, the opening scenes are of the jets on an aircraft carrier and coming on and off and everything.
All good stuff.
All good stuff.
Yeah.
And then you find out the movie's about this guy named Maverick, who's played by Tom Cruise, and his Rio, played by Anthony Edwards. And his call sign is Goose.
Yeah.
And they're in trouble. They're getting in trouble because Maverick's a great instinctive pilot. But
Goose was a goofball.
Goose was a total goofball. He had a porn stash. It was fantastic.
It really was.
They're getting in trouble. They're getting chewed out because their discipline problem. Well, Maverick is really a discipline problem, and Goose always backs Maverick no matter what.
Of course.
Right? So he's always buzzing the tower when he has no permissions and just getting in all kinds of trouble. And they're at this Top Gun school. They got this spot because the number one flyer dropped out. He had a bad situation happen to him in the air and he couldn't recover, so he dropped out. So Maverick and Goose got this spot. They go to Top Gun, right?
Right.
Once they're there, again, they're getting chewed out because
they're getting in trouble.
They're getting in trouble.
Yeah.
And they
just want to have fun is what it was.
They really do. He just wants to fly by the seat of his pants.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have a lot of concern for the way his actions kind of affect others. He just wants to do what he wants to do because he's incredible.
Yeah.
And he bumps up against Iceman, who's played by Val Kilmer.
Right.
And Iceman, he's like number one. And he's very considerate in the air. He thinks Maverick is dangerous. And
he's a bit cocky.
Yeah, he's super cocky. I mean, they're all cocky, let's face it, but super supreme cocky.
Yeah.
And, they're always butting heads and, he's like, I think you're dangerous. And Maverick's like, that's because I am dangerous. I mean, there's lots of machismo going on,
sure,
in this movie. That volleyball scene was like made super famous. The shirtless volleyball scene, the four of them playing volleyball, and makes him late for his date with Kelly McGillis, who he hit on supremely hard in the bar. The bar is called the Hard Deck, and it's where all the naval aviators go. And she was there, and he's hitting on her hard, and it's ridiculous. He makes a spectacle of himself, and then he finds out that she's one of his Top Gun instructors, and he's like, "Oops,
ruh-roh."
Yeah. He's kind of legendary because he's the only pilot to have shot down 3 MiGs and in the last bunch of years. So he's made famous by it. He winds up saving Iceman
Right.
But along the way, he winds up losing Goose to a mechanical error. The canopy, they had
I
to
remember.
eject, and
Yeah.
the canopy didn't clear. And when he ejected up,
He hit it.
he hit it, and he died.
Yeah.
And it scarred Maverick. It really did. And in the movie, in Top Gun, he does recover, and he flies this mission, and he saves Iceman, and then they become really good friends.
Mhm.
The reason that I'm bringing this up is because I just went last week and saw Top Gun Maverick.
How was that?
It was so good. It was better.
It was better than the first one?
It was better than the first one.
Wow. And what a lag of a bunch of years too, because the first one was 1986, right?
Yes. And they had made this movie, but it sat because of the pandemic. They wanted it to be released in the theaters, but
yeah.
Well worth the wait. It's incredible. So the movie starts exactly the same way as the original, the same kind of credits, the same music, the same information about why Top Gun was created.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Same opening shots.
Just in case you didn't see the first one.
Everything. Well, I think it was like, paying
it.
homage, We open up and Maverick's a test pilot. And he's still a captain. He's still a bit of a discipline problem, who's still pushing the envelope, still pissing admirals off. And the only difference now is that he's had Iceman in his corner, getting him out of trouble this whole time. The rear admiral who's in charge of his test pilot program says to him, 30 plus years of service, combat medals, citations. Only man to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 40 years, yet you can't get a promotion, you won't retire, and despite your best efforts, you refuse to die. You should be at least a 2-star admiral by now, yet here you are, captain. Why is that? And Maverick, still cocky as hell, goes, it's one of life's mysteries, sir. It's like,
that was a great line.
It's a great line, right? It's a great line. So he's in trouble. He's getting kicked out of this program, and they're going to kick him out of the Navy. But Iceman comes to the rescue one last time and has him reassigned to Top Gun. So he's not well received, but there are other people around who know what a great pilot he is, and he has been recruited for this mission. Yeah, he's legendary.
Sure.
He's been recruited because even though these Top Gun graduates are the best of the best, and they're like, what the hell is this old guy going to teach us that we don't know already? He knows how to dogfight, and he knows how to fly this very specific mission that looks like a suicide mission that the Navy doesn't even think they can pull off.
Was he viewed as being old at that point?
Yeah, for a fighter pilot,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah, they are. They're calling him grandpa.
Are they really?
And oh my God. So he goes to the hard deck and he runs into a woman named Penny, who was only mentioned in the first one. She was an admiral's daughter, but she's a grown up now and she owns the hard deck. And all these young Top Gun pilots come in and they're just like, hey, Gramps,
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they're just busting his chops left and right.
Yeah.
And he's not saying anything about anything. He knows he's going to be teaching these kids, but he's just letting them do their thing.
Get it out now, dudes.
Doing the whole thing. And then Bradley Bradshaw walks in, and he's played by Miles Teller, and his call sign is Rooster, and he is Goose's son.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Now, I swear to God, Miles Teller could be the love child of Anthony Edwards and Meg Ryan. He's got a mustache just like Goose had. Okay.
Yeah.
He dresses like Goose dressed with the white undershirt and then like a Hawaiian shirt on top open. And they do a scene where Rooster is playing Great Balls of Fire on the piano, just like his dad did in the first one.
Yep.
And Maverick is having this flashback of Goose doing it. So they're showing that. They're showing Miles Teller do it, who he really sang and played on the piano. So that's really him doing it.
Nice.
And the side by side, this kid must have worked on this thing for ages because it is perfect. He does a perfect job. I was so impressed. And it kind of like knocks Maverick for a loop. Now, he's been involved in this kid's life his whole life since Goose died. And they're kind of flashing back to this and whatever. But they have had a falling out. Miles Teller has said that he got to choose his own call sign, and he chose Rooster because it's in the Fowl family, just like
Right.
Goose.
Cool.
Tom Cruise's involvement in this movie was predicated on the condition that real aircraft be used in the aerial sequences and not CGI. Because of that, the actors playing pilots not only had to film themselves by turning their cameras on and off, they also had to do their own makeup, their own lighting, their own sound, all of this stuff, because they were actually filming in these planes.
Wow.
And Tom Cruise designed a 3-month crash course for all these actors to learn how to be in these fighter jets.
Wow.
It was very intense. And they said that he did such a good job, they felt over prepared, which is what you want to be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Prepared. That was very cool. And I'm not going to talk too much about the movie because it's so brand new that people are going to want to see it.
Sure.
But they had this really touching moment between Val Kilmer as Iceman. He came back for the movie. So when he goes to see Iceman, greets his wife, and she says, it's back. So they're alluding to the fact that he has throat cancer and it's back, and that he can't even speak anymore without it causing him a lot of pain. So he uses the computer to talk to Maverick for the most part.
Okay.
But then a company called Sonantic developed the voice AI that Val Kilmer uses, so that it's actually his voice, but it's an AI version of his voice.
Oh.
And it learned how to mimic his voice, including the iconic way he talks. So he was able to have this little conversations, very touching. They hug. It's so touching. You're like crying. And then Iceman goes, one last thing. Who's the better pilot, you or me?
Oh.
And Maverick goes, this is a nice moment. Let's not ruin it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's so like quintessentially them still, you know, even though they're friends now, they're still, you know,
rivals.
Still
Rivals.
Exactly. And Jennifer Connelly plays Penny, and she does a really good job.
Cool.
And he takes her up in an airplane, and he actually got to fly the airplane that he takes her up in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I was reading reviews on it, and this one really stood out for me. I thought it was funny. Let me just say, I was reluctantly dragged into the theater thinking that they didn't need to make a Top Gun 2, and that the first one was where that story needed to end. I could write a couple paragraphs to summarize my feelings after walking out of the theater, but I'm going to leave it with just one sentence. I was wrong.
Wow.
I thought that was a really good review.
Excellent. Yeah.
You know, it's like that says it all. Like, totally worth it. And I will say this as well. Go see it in the theater. And if you can, see it in IMAX. The way this movie is shot is incredible, and experiencing it on a big screen will enhance your experience. Sure. Oh my goodness. It's incredible the way they did this. Really, really well done. And I've seen little videos from actual Top Gun instructors talking about it. The fighting is very accurate. All the moves are very accurate. And one of the Top Gun pilots said that he has performed every move that is in this movie.
That's good. They did their homework.
Absolutely.
They took their time and they did their homework. I have one thing to add.
Okay.
Applebee's is now running an ad that if you spend $25 at Applebee's, you get a free ticket to see Top Gun.
Hey, it's worth it. It's worth it. Go get a meal and get a ticket. If I had time, I'd have watched it again. If that movie was on a streaming service, I'd have watched it back to back right away again. That's how good it is.
Wow. Cool. Cool. Very nice. Let's do our sense and nonsense.
Okay.
Alrighty. Letter T topic is tennis.
Oh boy. I might biff 2 weeks in a row.
Oh gosh. No. No. Okay. Sense or nonsense. Before tennis players used rackets, people would use the palms of their hands to hit the ball back and forth over the net.
No, I say that's nonsense.
It's sense.
It's sense?
People in the 12th century suffered from swollen and red hands in a game called Jeu de Paume, meaning game of the palm. It wasn't until the 16th century that rackets were invented and used. And are you ready for the first string on the rackets? What was
What?
it made out of?
Maybe horsehair or something like that.
No, I had found this out during our last episode. Sheep intestine.
What?
That's what they used to string them with. that-
That's disgusting.
I know.
Why
I
wouldn't
know.
you use horsehair?
I know, I did.
Why would you go for intestines?
More flexible? I don't know. I just don't know. That's what it was. I didn't bring it up during the sheep when I did the
Oh,
sheep thing.
That's so nasty.
But this came up with, I was like, oh, I know this one.
Oh my God.
I know. It's
But,
crazy.
but handball is different than tennis.
But handball is against the wall, right?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
Technically, the first tennis was done with the hand.
Well, they're idiots.
It was just stupid
Yeah,
back
that's
then.
stupid.
Okay. Sense or nonsense? Tennis was originally played on a circle-shaped court.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is back in like Henry VIII time, they were playing tennis and it was not a circle. It was a rectangle, but it was inside. So I'm going to say nonsense, but I don't freaking know.
Oh, you would be correct.
Okay.
Originally, tennis was played on an hourglass-shaped court.
Okay.
With the net was 4 foot 8 inches high. Rectangular courts were introduced in 1875.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's when Wimbledon started their rectangular courts.
Okay.
1875. Yeah. Okay. Sense or nonsense? There are 3 types of court surfaces currently in use for professional tennis.
All right. So there's grass,
That's one.
clay,
That's 2.
and that fake court. Yeah, I'll say sense.
As far as outdoor, you're absolutely correct. It's 3. However, indoor
Oh,
is wood. That's 4.
4.
And there used to be a 5th, carpet.
Huh?
Yeah. One of the biggest ATP tournaments was played on carpet was the Paris Masters, it was called. It was an indoor tournament. It was played for about 25 years. And then they went to hard courts in 2006. Also, the Quebec Open, which is a WTA event, a women's event, was on carpet until 2018.
No kidding.
Carpet. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was only thinking outdoor court. I
Yeah.
don't even think I knew that they played inside anymore.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Wow.
Okay. So a couple of facts. The US Open is the only major to have been played on 3 surfaces, grass, clay, and hard court. And this made me feel old. Besides the telephone and
And the typewriter.
typewriter that we were talking about, here we go. Before yellow tennis balls, they were all white. It's like, no kidding. That's all we had was white. When the yellow came about, it was like, oh, these are pretty, And the only reason it came up with yellow was because of the color TV. And it was just hard to watch a white ball. It was for more visibility on TV. And as of 1986, Wimbledon adopted the yellow tennis ball. The origin of the word love is unknown. They have really no idea. They've surmised that it comes from a French word, l'œuf, which means the egg, which would represent the 0.
Yeah.
Exactly. At Wimbledon, the grass is cut to a height of exactly 8 millimeters during events. It has to be exact.
I bet.
You're only allowed 2 tosses when you serve. So you see it all the time. They toss it up and
Ball.
yeah. Well, either that or they catch it again because they didn't like their toss. But that second toss, they have to hit that. Yeah, exactly. And the tiebreaker was invented in 1965. That wasn't an original thing.
Wow.
The tiebreaker. Well, I was very surprised about that. Wimbledon started their tiebreaker in 1971. But yeah, originally I'm like, what did they just do? Just, okay, so
that's
a tie. We'll just go to another game, I guess,
Yeah, I guess so.
Tennis elbow is an inflammation of the tendons that join the forearm muscle and the outside of the elbow. It's like, I know that all too well.
Yeah. It hurts.
I still can't play.
Oh, that's
I still
a bummer.
can't play tennis because of that. So I'm going to leave on this one note. Arthur Ashe was the first African-American to win a US Open in 1968, and that was the only one he won.
Mhm.
He had a famous quote, "Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can."
Nice.
Yeah. When we were doing the letter H, we had so much on our plate for that letter.
Mhm.
And I wanted to do my favorite actor, but since we really didn't have the time, I saved it for T. So my favorite actor is Tom Hanks.
Nice.
Born Thomas Jeffrey Hanks on July 9th, 1956 in Concord, California. He has dual citizenship, US and Greece. He's not only an actor, he's a filmmaker, director, producer, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
He is, I would say, the busiest actor.
He's
He's
got his
huge.
hands in a lot of pies.
Absolutely. I first saw him in Bosom Buddies, and I
Yeah.
loved that show.
I know.
It only lasted for 2 seasons. From
It was so
19,
funny.
it was hysterical. From 1980 to 1982. That was it.
His female name was Buffy in that,
Buffy.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Kip Wilson, and his
Alter
the drag
ego.
name.
Yeah.
The drag name was Buffy. And then Peter Scolari, Henry Desmond, and his drag name was Hildegard. So
That's right.
Hildegard.
That's right. That's right.
They were good.
Mm-hmm. That
It
was
was
a
a
funny
great
show.
story. It was
Yeah.
so funny. So then after that, he started doing some movies. So I'm just going to hit some of these big movies and chime in whenever you want.
All right.
All right. 1984, Splash and Bachelor Party. I mean, right there, he's busy.
Yeah.
The Money Pit and Dragnet, 1987.
Okay, wait a minute. The Money Pit for the longest time was the pinnacle of him for me. When he gets stuck in that carpet in a hole in the floor.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. So funny.
So good. One of my favorite movies is Big.
I know. So
And
good.
Yeah. And that was in 1988. And he also did Punchline that year.
Mm-hmm.
The Burbs and Turner and Hooch is 1989.
Mm-hmm.
Joe versus the Volcano, 1990. A League of Their Own, 1992.
That's my favorite.
Is it really?
It's my favorite one. When he's in the dugout and the woman is crying and he can't even handle it.
No.
There's no crying in baseball.
baseball.
Oh my God. So funny.
I know.
He's so good throughout that movie.
So 1993, Sleepless in Seattle, and The Biggie, Philadelphia, where he got an Academy Award for Best Actor. I think he's the only actor to get back-to-back Best Actors.
I believe so.
Yeah, because the next year, 1994, was Forrest Gump, and that's when he got his second.
Yeah, I've actually eaten at the Bubba Gump Shrimp Eatery.
Have you really?
Yeah, there's one in San Francisco, and I've eaten there.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Let's see, 1995, Apollo 13
Great
and
movie.
Toy Story, of which he is Sheriff Woody.
Yeah.
He has such a distinct voice. He's perfect for this sort of thing.
And he loses it. He says that when he meets kids, like when he was in an elevator one time and a mom was like, do you know who that is? Do you know who that is? And he's like, no. He's like, you can't do it like that. He's like, close your eyes. And he did, like, he was freaking out. And the kid was like, oh, Woody.
Oh,
It's like, you can't do it by sight with these kids. They have to
Yeah.
just listen to my voice.
sure.
And then
sure.
they freak out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So 1996, That Thing You Do.
A favorite.
I love that movie.
I know, me too.
I just saw it just about a week ago, too. 1998, Saving Private Ryan and You've Got Mail.
Oh my goodness.
1999, The Green Mile. Wow.
I know.
2000, Castaway.
These are epic films.
They're huge.
Yeah.
2002, Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
2004, The Terminal and The Polar Express.
I really liked The Terminal.
I did too. That was neat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I liked it. 2006, The Da Vinci Code.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. again.
Big. Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to jump all the way to 2011, Larry Crown.
That's a good one.
You and I talked about that privately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie. 2013, Captain Phillips and Saving Mr. Banks.
Mm-hmm.
2015, Bridge of Spies. 2016, Sully.
Mhm.
Loved it.
That was a really good movie.
It really was. 2017, The Post. Did you see that? The Post?
I did see it. Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
good one.
That was good.
2019, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
I haven't seen that yet, but I
Really
really
good.
want to.
You'll
I
like
really
it.
want to.
2020, Greyhound. 2021, Finch. And I'll go into what he's doing now in a little bit.
Okay.
6 Academy Award nominations, of which we know he has 2. He has 7 Primetime Emmy Awards, American Film Institute's Lifetime Achievement Award in 2002. He received the Kennedy Center Honors in 2014, Presidential Medal of Freedom from Barack Obama in 2016, Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Award in 2020. Of course, he has a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he has his hands and footprints at the Chinese Theater.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk a little bit about he and Rita Wilson.
Okay.
They were married in 1988. Rita is Greek Orthodox,
Mm-hmm.
as you know I am.
Mm-hmm.
And he converted before he married her. So he's Greek Orthodox too. In 2019, they received an honorary citizenship of Greece because of their exceptional service to Greece. They brought attention for aid to the village of Mati, which means I, just so you know, Mati, which was devastated by wildfires in July of 2018. Then in 2020, the Prime Minister of Greece gave them Greek passports.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. So they have a connection with Nia Vardalos.
Yes.
They produced My Big Fat Greek Wedding 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
and also My Life in Ruins.
Mm.
And I don't know if they're producing My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, but that's happening.
I see. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was coming.
Yeah, I didn't either until I started doing some research. So one thing I was impressed about was in during the pandemic, and if you remember in the beginning, they were one of the first celebrities that publicly came out and said that they got it.
Yeah,
And they
bad
were
too.
like-
Rita was bad.
Yeah, and they were like, you don't want this.
Mhm.
Believe me, you don't want this. You know, as much as people were treating people who got COVID like lepers,
Mm-hmm.
they were very brave. I admired them for what they did because
Yeah.
I think they made me personally feel better
Yeah.
that, oh my God, they got it. Do you remember all that? when
Yeah.
came
Yeah. They were
forward?
in Australia.
Yeah. And then during the pandemic, I remember Stephen Colbert interviewed Tom Hanks, and Colbert asked his 15 Colbert questions. And this is the one question he asked: you get one song to listen to for the rest of your life. What is it? And he said, Our Lips Are Sealed by the Go-Go's. And Colbert was like, he dropped everything. He was like, what? and Tom is going, what's wrong? What did I say? You know? And he said, that's your one song? He's like, yeah, that's my one song. You know, it's like, can you hear them? They're talking about us.
Yeah.
Telling lies. Well, that's no surprise. And he went on and went on and went on. It was hysterical. It was really good. So anyway, in 2022, he has a whole bunch of projects.
Yeah.
He's working on Elvis.
I saw the trailer for that.
Did you?
It looks like it's going to be good.
It has to be good.
That
right?
dude that they picked to play Elvis, he's got something.
He's also in Pinocchio. He's doing Geppetto. He's actor and producer in A Man Called Otto. And he's also doing a rom-com called Asteroid City. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. My
Yeah.
favorite.
He's the reason why I was looking at a thing about typewriters, because he loves typewriters. He's got a huge collection of typewriters. He's got like 80 or something typewriters.
That was something that Colbert was busting his chops about.
Yeah.
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 No less we had typewriters in our questions too.
I know.
I know. See how that all ties together?
Mhm. So coincidentally.
Yes. It's just a huge catalog. I love all his movies.
He's so big.
and,
I do too.
you know,
He's got like such distinct pieces of himself. He's got like the
Yeah.
comedic side and the dramatic side, but then like he'll do something like SNL.
it was awesome in SNL. by
Oh
the
my
way.
God.
Yeah.
So good, you know? And then
Yeah.
he's got all the producing side of him. And
He's done a lot of stage too. He had a nomination for a Tony Award too. Another versatile guy with a huge catalog.
exactly.
Yeah, my favorite.
Yeah. Okay, for my T actor, I've picked Tom Cruise since I did
Mhm.
Top Gun.
Yep. Kind of goes hand in hand, huh?
They kind of do. I like when that happens.
Yeah.
So Thomas Cruise Mapother, the fourth, was born on July 3rd, 1962 in Syracuse, New York. The birthday book says that July 3rd is the day of the commemorator. July 3 people are born chroniclers, diarists, and commemorators of events and traditions. I think that's an awesome thing for an actor to be.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to be highly philosophical or even removed from life, surveying it as a judge might from his bench. And we know that Tom definitely has opinions.
Mm.
And also, he wanted to be a priest when he was young.
Oh,
Yeah, when he was about 14 years old, he was enrolled in the seminary.
I think that was so cool that his birthday's on the 3rd.
Yeah.
And he was
born on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Those born on this day try to rise to the highest positions in their particular sphere and are highly independent, which we know that that's him to a T.
I love that book.
I know. It's so good, isn't it?
It really
I
is.
mean, it's so on.
Yeah.
Positive traits are observant, charming, and sensitive. Negative traits can be overcritical, all-knowing, or withdrawn. And we do know that he's got exacting standards in his work, and he continually pushes people, including himself, to stretch and do better than they think they can.
Mm-hmm.
However, I also know that he's a person that evaluates the things he's done. And if he finds that he's done something off or hurt somebody by something he said, he is known to go and apologize to that person personally. He doesn't do the public apology BS. He actually goes and he apologizes to the person, which I find to be incredible.
Absolutely. That's what it should be.
It is. So July 3 people must work against their tendency to isolate themselves from the world. Their sensibilities must find expression in some creative pursuit or another. And I think he has done that. Mm-hmm. As both an actor and producer, he is very involved with the creative outlet he has chosen. When I was just talking about Top Gun, like he designed the training program for these actors, you know, he is just so involved every step of the way in this creative process anymore that when he is in a movie, he's basically synonymous with that movie.
Right.
He is actually listed in the birthday book.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
You know, he should be the only one on the page, really.
Yeah, I guess. Right?
He's also got a bunch of licenses. He's licensed to fly a bunch of different airplanes, commercial license, jets, motorcycles, parachutes, boats, mechanics license, scuba diving, and real estate.
Really? Oh my God.
He's a mountain climber. He's a runner. He's a kayaker. The guy just does so many things. Right. It's ridiculous. His parents moved around a lot when he was a kid. By the time he was 14 years old, he'd attended 15 different schools in the US and Canada. When his mother remarried, they settled in Glen Ridge, New Jersey. He went to high school in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Once he was in high school, he developed that acting bug and he moved to New York to pursue this acting career. And I'd say it paid off pretty well.
Oh, no doubt.
He is the first actor in history to star in 5 consecutive films that grossed $100 million in the United States. A Few Good Men, The Firm, Interview with a Vampire, Mission Impossible, and Jerry Maguire.
Wow.
Did you know that Tom Hanks was asked to be Jerry Maguire?
No kidding.
Yeah.
How about that?
So they have a little bit of a synchronicity there. And then while filming Days of Thunder in 1990 at Daytona International Speedway, he drove one of the Hendricks Motorsports cars around the track, and the best time recorded was a lap at 205 miles an hour.
Cool.
Holy crap, right? Holy crap. This dude is crazy. So Top Gun was chosen to be in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress for being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. Mm-hmm. And he's just been in so many movies that it's a ridiculous number. However, The Outsiders in 1983 was the first time I saw him.
Okay. And it was Risky Business for me.
Okay. Yep. And I actually didn't see him in Risky Business for a long time. I saw him in The Outsiders, in Legend, in Top Gun, and in Rain Man before I saw him in Risky Business.
No kidding. A Risky Business was big.
I know. I don't know why. I have no idea why that happened. I mean, I had seen him slide across the floor in his t-shirt and socks.
Exactly.
You know, I'd seen, yeah. I had seen that a bunch of times, but I had never actually seen the movie. And then in 1990, he did Days of Thunder, like I said, and that was
Yeah.
huge. That like
Huge.
really was immense.
Love that
And then
movie.
and
Love
then A
it, love
Few
it, love
Good
it.
Men, you know, A Few
Yep.
Good Men like took him to a whole nother level, I think.
You can't handle the truth.
I know. It was so good. It was so good.
So good.
I remember when Interview with a Vampire is going to come out and they said that Tom Cruise is going to play Lestat. And I was like, what? No, this is not going to be good. And he actually did a really good job.
Good job. Yeah.
He's 5'7" and Lestat is supposed to be tall and thin and feline like and blonde. And somehow Tom Cruise still pulled that off. Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
The Last Samurai, I really, really liked him in. And then in 2008, he was in Tropic Thunder with Robert Downey Jr. and
Yes,
Ben Stiller, and he played Les Grossman, and
So
he
funny.
was incredible
Yeah.
in this movie. This is actually one of my favorite roles of his.
Really?
It's incredible what he did with this guy.
If I remember correctly, you mentioned that he loved that part.
Yeah, yeah.
It got him to step out of his regular comfort zone.
Yes,
so
exactly. 2012, another one of my favorite roles that he doesn't really get enough credit for, I don't think, and neither did this movie, was Rock of Ages.
Mm-hmm.
He plays Stacey Jacks. He's a front man of a band, and he sings his own stuff. And one of the songs that he sang was Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys from Def Leppard were there while he was rehearsing and doing this thing. And Joe Elliott's like, you do this better than me.
Well, as much as I love Def Leppard, Joe Elliott doesn't enunciate very well.
No, he doesn't.
You know, so he enunciated very well in Rock of Ages.
Yeah.
So I think that made a big difference.
I think they also really liked the champagne thing he did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they were impressed. Edge of Tomorrow, Live Die Repeat with Emily Blunt. They're actually making another one, but I really liked that movie.
Oh, wow.
All the Mission Impossibles.
Yeah.
You know, the first one came out in 1996. I loved Fallout, of course, because Henry Cavill was in it. But part 1 of Dead Reckoning is coming out next year. And then the following year will be part 2. I saw the trailer for that, and that looks freaking intense.
Really?
Holy crap. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the TV show, by the way. Yeah. I grew up with that.
I like what he's done with the series, though. Most of these stunts he's doing himself, even a crazy hanging off the side of the building ones,
right,
and the crazy, you know, scaling a ridiculous side of a cliff mountain with just like nothing but powder and free climbing or whatever they call it.
Right.
He's always pushing himself. In Fallout, he broke his ankle doing a stunt and then continued running.
Oh my God.
With a broken ankle. And in one of the other Mission Impossible movies, he trained so that he could hold his breath underwater for 4 to 6 minutes. He did a whole underwater scene.
For how long?
4 to 6 minutes.
No kidding.
Yes. Yes.
That's a long time.
Yeah. He trained with like crazy SEAL divers or something.
Wow.
To do this. He's always reaching for more, trying to be better. He's always looking for the thing that's more of a spectacle. He feels it's his responsibility as an artist, as somebody putting out these films, to give something to people that they haven't seen before. He's
one of the highest paid actors. Am I right?
Yeah.
The two guys that we did.
Yep.
You know, Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise. They're two of the highest paid.
And there's a reason. There's a reason for that.
Absolutely. They're both so good at their craft.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I could go on and on and on. I've watched so many little videos just having to do with like Top Gun. And I see the appeal of him and everybody that he's worked with, the things that they say about him. He's so credible. He is a person that actually walks the walk. So when he speaks, you're listening because he's not asking you to do a thing that he hasn't done himself, maybe 100 times over, you know?
Yeah. And I've seen enough clips to know that he expects excellence.
I mean, he really does. But I think it elevates everybody around him.
Absolutely.
I mean, just look at
you
the quality
should expect
of the movies.
excellence.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Awesome
actor.
I have a little tea peeve.
Okay.
In North Carolina, you have these traffic lights that have the sensors.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
In New Jersey, we don't have the censors.
That's a bummer, man.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the right on red, it's fine. Don't,
Right.
yeah, no, that's wonderful. But when you have to go straight and make a left and you're sitting at the light and there's nobody coming, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
What's with the traffic lights that don't have the sensors? I just don't get it. And especially now with the gas prices so high.
You don't want
I
to
mean,
be
that's
sitting there idling for 5 minutes waiting for a light.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. That's why they came up with the right on red. It all started because of gas prices and stuff. But now it's like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, we have no sensors and it's like you're just sitting there. There's nobody coming. It's just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Annoying. So this is something that it's annoying me. I just wanted to make a mention since it's a T.
Okay.
Traffic lights with no sensors. Bad.
Okay. I have a little bit of a surprise segment.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I
You
figured
know how much I like surprises.
I know,
right?
I know, but I think you'll be okay with this one.
Okay.
Since we both chose Tom's to be our favorite actor,
Right.
I figured we'd just take a couple minutes and shout out to a couple other famous Toms.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is Tom Jones.
One of my favorites.
I know. And I love the remake he did of Burning Down the House.
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
Have you ever heard him sing, "Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, 'cause mama, I'm so hot." Oh my
It's-
God. I love him. Yeah. Ever since I was a little kid.
I know. I remember.
Yeah.
So this is the way this is going to go. Okay. The next one, I'm not 100% sure that you know, but I'm going to say anyway. Tom Hardy. Do you know who Tom Hardy is?
No.
Okay. He did the new Mad Max,
Okay.
and he was also in Venom. He plays Venom and Eddie.
Oh, okay. I
But
know who
he's-
you're talking about.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
been in a bunch of stuff. But I really like him in Mad Max. He's one of my favorites.
Okay.
The next one is Tom Petty,
Love Tom Petty.
right?
And I'm trying to think. That's your first album. Am I
That's
right?
my first album, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Heartbreakers.
Yeah, my first album.
Yep.
Favorite songs from Tom Petty for me are Refugee
Okay.
and Breakdown.
Okay.
Hmm. I know a lot of people say I won't back down.
I love him.
I
He's
know.
one of my favorites. I like I Won't Back Down.
Hmm.
I like the Wilbury stuff too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember that album cover of him on the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It's like a fuchsia colored,
Mhm.
and it's just him on the front with his guitar.
Yeah.
I'll always remember that. I was so happy when I got that. I felt
There's a
like such a
couple of
grown up.
There's a couple of pictures of him that reminds me of my hubby.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm trying to think my favorite song from him. I'd have to really think about this because there's not too many I don't like.
No, me either. Freaky.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on which is my favorite song. I gotta
Okay.
really think about it.
All
Mhm.
right. The next one, Tom Brady.
There you go. And we've
Right?
talked about him
We
several
have.
times.
We have Super
Yeah.
Bowl king, right?
Yeah. Are you going to retire? I'm not going to retire. I'm
No.
going to retire. I'm not going to retire.
No.
By the way, Fox locked him in for a future broadcasting
I knew it.
contract. Yeah.
I knew it.
Yep.
Smart.
He's locked up.
All right. The next Tom is Tom Selleck, Magnum himself.
Yeah. I used to have a picture of him when he was
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
with his Hawaiian shirt.
Uh-huh.
I loved Magnum PI. I really did.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Tom
know.
Selleck's one of my favorites.
Yep. Next Tom is Tom Hiddleston. Do you know who that is?
I do not.
Tom Hiddleston played Loki in all the Thor movies and the Avengers movies, and he's got his own series now. Loki. He's dynamite.
Awesome.
Next Tom is Tom Arnold.
Oh,
I loved him in True Lies.
did you?
He was great in True
Did you?
Lies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I liked him on Roseanne.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, yeah,
I think everybody
definitely.
kind of did.
Yeah. Tom Holland. Do you know who he is?
Yes, I do.
Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Tom Felton. Do you know who Tom Felton is?
Oh man. No.
He played Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter series. And he's like the nicest guy too. And he played it like he played kind of a bratty
Okay.
kid.
Yeah. I just Googled him. I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We've talked about this guy before, but I just wanted to give him another shout out. Tom Morello.
Yes.
for his activism, for his
Yes.
amazing guitar playing.
Exactly.
Great guy, smart
Yep.
guy.
He loves Kiss.
Yep. That makes him okay in your book, huh?
Absolutely. Well, he's a local guy too. So
Yeah.
that definitely makes him okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the last one that I wanted to do was Tom Lister Jr. He was a wrestler, but he was also an actor. He's got like over 200 credits to his name. He played the president in The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis. He was in Friday. He was in Jackie Brown.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
I never knew his name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
And yes, he was a wrestler.
Yes, he was.
He wrestled Hulk
back,
Hogan.
Yeah, back when it was the WWF.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Mhm.
What was his wrestling name? He went by Zeus.
You're right. He was Zeus
Yes.
as a wrestler, but he goes by in his credits. A lot of the time it's Tom Tiny Lister. And he passed in 2020.
Oh,
But he's still got a bunch of things coming out.
oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
He had a backlog of stuff.
He had a backlog, I guess maybe from the pandemic or whatever, but
Could be,
there's
sure.
still a bunch. There's like a handful of stuff that still has to come out for him.
Right.
So I just wanted to give him a shout out. And that's it. Just a short list, about 10-ish Toms that deserve a little bit of a shout out, some
Mhm.
props in addition to our other Toms. And she's still thinking about Tom
I'm
Petty,
still thinking,
folks.
that's right. You know, we talked about Stop Dragging My Heart Around.
Yes, we
too.
did.
That is one of my favorite songs, but
Mine
you know,
too.
that's technically a Stevie Nicks song. So
Technically, yeah.
yeah. You know what? I can't think of one particular one that would be my favorite.
And Tom Cruise sang Free Fallin' in Jerry Maguire.
That's not one of my favorites.
No, but it's just
Free Fallin',
weird how
Yeah.
all these things are connected.
Isn't this great? I love when that happens.
Mhm,
I don't know, Refugee, American Girl. I love them all. I really do.
mhm. I didn't want to give you a migraine or anything. I just wanted to
Put me on a spot.
Yeah.
Put me on a spot.
I know.
I can name a whole bunch of them, but
I
to
know.
name one, that would be a little tough for me right now.
I love doing this to
Sorry.
you because you usually do this to me with bands, and I'm like, I can't think of anything right now. Oh my God.
Hey, wait a minute. How about Tom and Jerry?
I liked Tom and Jerry.
I did too.
Have you ever watched Tom and Jerry as an adult? It was so bad.
It was very bad.
Yeah.
Another Tom I have to mention is Tom Thibodeau. He's the coach of the New York Knicks.
Oh,
Forgot all about him, but I just remembered.
there you go.
I had a chance to come up with my favorite Tom Petty song.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, I love I Won't Back Down. It's one of my favorites too. But my favorite is Running Down a Dream.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
That's really good song.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So, yeah. I like You Wreck Me too.
You know, there are so many,
I love 'em
honestly, that
all.
I like a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
But I would say my favorite ones, the ones that I will sit in a car and not leave for,
Mhm, mhm.
Breakdown and Refugee, definitely for me.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And Sirius has a Tom Petty channel too.
Do they?
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, I have that on all the time.
All right.
Cool. So you ready to go?
Yep.
We appreciate you listening. With that, we're out of here.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.